Hey guys, it's Jeff from Tattooed Spirit, and I'm here to do a quick VR. It is Wednesday evening, and I'm just before I get settled into the evening, before I make my delicious cocktail for the night, I wanted to get to a VR called How I Read Tarot. This is going down to Shuffle Tarot. She's down there in Australia somewhere. She seems exceptionally neat, and I think she's an excellent reader. Not that my opinion matters very much for anything, but Shuffle Tarot, thank you very much. This is just a little bit, basically, of an intro about me as a reader, and I love hearing the other people kind of contribute to this tag as well. So I'll just check out the prompts on my handy-dandy post-it notes. I go through these like you can't even imagine, which I'll be explaining a little bit later as well. But here we are, prompt number one. Do you have any prepping or rituals involved in tarot reading? And I have to say that there's really not. It's just making sure that I'm in a proper space, that I'm feeling optimistic, that I'm feeling positive, that I'm feeling a sense of appreciation and joy and gratitude. That's fairly easy for me to get into. That's not necessarily an easy. It's been a lot of practice to be able to work my way up the scale. I definitely take at least 5 minutes to make sure that I'm in a proper receiving mode, because I want to be receiving those kind of messages. If you're depressed, if you're sad, if you're angry, if you're feeling unworthy, anything like that, then it has proven to me to just keep the cards aside, say no to the client. It's not worth it. It's not worth the shit messages you're going to get anyway from your own higher self connection. So if there's any sort of prep work, it's not really involving crystals or anything as far as my actual space. It's just making sure that I'm in a positive emotional state to be able to receive the kind of quality messages from my higher self that I would want to, give out to my client or friend or whoever. So that's my prepping ritual. Really, just getting myself in a positive expectation sort of state. Prompt number two. Is there a certain style or layout of reading? You know what? I like the cross for something descriptive, and you can really sort of lay it out really, really quick. You don't have to spend a lot of time there. I find it's a fantastic blueprint as far as kind of understanding just the basic structure of what is happening with you. So I usually start with the cross, and then I get into this thing called card streaming that involves just laying down a card that's going to have a meaning for me. And I've been really loving using a ton of these post-it notes, and I actually got this from Tom Benjamin by just writing like key words that my querent, that my client just wants some sort of clarity on. And I'll just lay 4 or 5 of those cues out on the table, post it on the post-it note, and I lay a card for each, and then that's where I begin this card streaming, where I begin to look at the visuals as far as, Riley, shh, no, there's no more food, I'll give you in a second. Sorry if you heard that, my dog Riley's not Jack Daniel's right here, but they just keep licking the same bowl the empty bowl across the whole kitchen. It's ridiculous. And so there's no style really other than my stream that I kind of get into as far as just what I'm intending for the next card to be, and then it almost always does just have magnificent meaning for me. So it starts off with the cross, just as an overall general description if they don't really have a specific thing that they want to get worked out, and then that leads into laying out a few of these post-it notes. I'm reviewing because I don't remember what I said, because I apologize. I was a little bit distracted with the puppies. And then from there, we just sort of, kind of see what comes up by the different literal positions that I lay out with the post-it notes. And so that's always proven to be really, really cool, really insightful. And as I actually just posted last night, and I suppose I could tag it below, a tag that I do called Your Highest Intention Spread, which is whenever I split another deck up into the 5 different parts, the 4 different suits and the majors, to get very specific inspirations. Most of the people that come to me because it's attached to my hypnotherapy business are coming in because they're feeling blocked, and there really is no better way to kind of work with your cognitive functions, your emotional functions, and your action being states to get you into realities guided by your highest intentions through the major cards. So check for the link below for this highest intention spread that I do for myself once a week. And then for clients, to just give them that little boost, which they always find the most value. I believe probably starting relatively soon, I'm just going to be starting with that rather than doing the cross and then doing the positions and then getting to that, at the latter part of it. So definitely check out that highest intention spread, because you may be able to save a lot of time for your clients if your clients are paying for time like mine does. Like my clients pay for me. So anyway, that's my certain style or layout of reading. What kinds of cards, decks do you like? Well, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that it was the original Rider deck that I got in 1997, 1998, up until dabbled around a little bit once I started with you guys in the YouTube community. And very recently I got this incredible Pagan Underworlds deck that I gave a really fun unboxing to, and I think that's going to be my go-to for quite a while now. I'll let you know if that changes. I know that there's an 8 tattoo or a tattoo 8 deck or something like that seems intriguing, just because I like the whole tattoo stuff. But as far as like the traditional imagery, I'm in love with this Pagan Otherworlds deck that's right down there in my little outside altar that I'm sharing with you guys. I never brought out so many candles to enjoy out here tonight, but it's not so chilly, and I figure tonight's a great night. Jack Daniels right there. You want to come over? You want to get in camera, buddy? No? Maybe I'll pan down the camera whenever I'm done. He's just out of frame. Okay, so yeah, and so those are the decks that I use, really. I don't really... Oh, this is Riley. Hi, Riley. How are you, sweetie? She's like a lap dog. This is Jack's literal sister. They are always together, and they're always playing, and they're always fake fighting and making a ruckus, and she's the one that always brings you a gift as soon as you walk in, and she looks around to see what's available. Whatever's on the floor, she'll bring you that gift. A toy or a scrap or something that fell off the table. She's just so excited to bring you a gift. Well, she's a good dog. Hey, Riley. Yes, Riley Joe. And so those are my decks that I enjoy. Do I use crystals, runes, or tools during my reading? I don't use any crystals. I've just started getting into the crystal usage. If you saw my earlier video, I talked about my fantastic little skull that just doesn't pick up. It just doesn't pick up. Oh, and that's another cat we have over there. And this is the citrine. And I was out here this morning with my coffee. I took a couple pictures. And come on in, baby. Come on. Come and join us. Come and join us. And then this is the smoky quartz. And I'll tell you what I did. I just brought these outside with me while I was enjoying my coffee. And I have to tell you, just being around and seeing these magnificent creatures of crystal, I was really having a wonderful morning. Wonderful morning. So I don't really use those during the reading. I used to use a pendulum to great effect as far as timing wise whenever people had a question about timing, and it was really quite accurate for many years. I'd say for about 12 years I used a pendulum. Come on out, don't jump over the fence, sweetie. Come on, I may have to dart out of here. I can't have that cat. These fences are pretty big. You wrangle that cat in, guys. Okay, thank you. And so, but anyway, with the pendulum, it was really accurate as far as timing. You get that baby swinging, and then it stops on whatever kind of month or week that you're trying to portray out. But I stopped doing that a number of months ago because I found that it was incredibly unempowering. As accurate as it was, it really is the inference that something is out of your control. And I really wanted to get away from that for my clients because I'm all about empowerment. I'm all about attracting the future that you wish for yourself. So I didn't want this idea that there's some sort of destiny and some sort of timeline out there that's just you have to wait for, and you're sort of disempowered. You just kind of have to go about your life until that boy comes in, or until that girl leaves, or that girl comes in, or you get that job, or whatever this crap is that people think that they're sort of just kind of waiting around for the world to offer them. And I felt that I know that has really served my clients very well as far as just not being so divinatory as far as, you can expect something in 3 weeks. 6 weeks, and rather than just own that feeling now, and it doesn't even matter if it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if it's supposed to take 6 months, if you're feeling it now, it will attract it to you sooner. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over, that has proven to be true. So I don't use any sort of fortune telling as far as time like the pendulum anymore. I'm still a big fan of it for my own purpose as far as health and what's good for my body, but not in the tarot readings at all anymore. Nothing like that. That was prompt number 4. How do you close your readings? And then do you close your readings in any particular way? You know what? I sort of list out the take homes. I sort of like, what have we learned? And I sort of give it in a sentence or two, which is why that spread that I created and have been using on myself for many years, and for my clients over the past couple years, that highest intention spread, you get, you split it into 5 different parts, and then you lay out the 5 different cards, and then it gives you literally a sentence. This is what you should be thinking, so that you're feeling this, so that you're doing this, so that's giving you this for the purpose of that. Those are the 5 things that spread does. So I really encourage you to check out the video below. That's how I close my readings, as far as just giving a take home in a sentence, Thinking like this, so you feel like this, so that you can act like this, so that you get this for the purpose of that. Those are the 5 things, the 4 different suits and the major suits. So that's been incredibly helpful for myself and my clients. So that's how I close my reading. Who do you do readings for? The general public, people who want to, find me on the people who know that I do it. I get a lot of return requests, which is great. I have now, I think 6 weekly clients that come in, which is magnificent for me. And then of course they bring their friends, and of course I welcome 2, 3, 4 people to come in and room with me. I have a beautiful space down there at the bottom of the hill. The more people that can come in and enjoy this self-empowerment tool of tarot, I welcome that. Absolutely. So I don't really, I'm fortunate that I don't really have to advertise for the tarot, because I just said, like, bring it. Come on, man. Just bring it in, bring it and let's share it. So who do you do readings for? Anybody that wants them. I really didn't do readings for family or friends, or tell my family and friends for many, many years that I was actually doing this. But I figured now that I'm doing this hypnotherapy, and I sort of morphed into a spiritual hypnotherapy, and then it just was a natural fit to the empowerment of the tarot, I said, well, this is just what I am. This is who I am right now. And that's been a huge benefit to the business, as well as my self-satisfaction and joy level every day. I love going down the office, as well as complementing with my bodywork, massage, energy, Reiki work that I do. Hello, darling. Yeah, do you want to introduce? Can I introduce you? Yeah. Oh, this is our little loudmouth. Whoa, she's so beautiful. Let me just disappear for 2 seconds to get her inside. You're making a loud mess out here. Okay. Oh, stop it. Oh, behave. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so that was that prompt. And then let's wrap things up here with, do you do readings for anyone or anything other than people? That's a hard question, because I think you can use the connection to higher self-intelligence, to infinite intelligence, with just about anything. Just today I had a client come in because his mother had passed, and was looking for some inspiration and guidance from where he felt that she was, and the messages that she had for him. And it was quite a remarkable reading. I'm not going to be pushing that, advertising that, but if more clients like that come in, I would not hesitate to take them. I know the first couple times that I had my own personal card readings back in 1998, it was for a cat that I had. I took questions to my reader that was magnificent. His name is Michael, and he said, I had never read for a cat before, but yeah, let's give it a shot. And the information and the guidance that he offered from my little cat Newman was incredibly wonderful. Actually, this is before Newman. My goodness. Yeah, I think that might have been for Tigger. But that was really, really helpful. So I will just say yes. I will just say yes whenever someone says, do you think that this can help you? And if it doesn't, then I obviously won't charge, and I'll play it as a thing where we can just sort of bounce ideas off of each other. But I can't imagine a situation where tarot wouldn't be incredibly helpful. So that was the end of the tag. And then it says, what is important to you? What else is important to you as far as how you read tarot? And primarily my big thing is that how empowered you are. The 4 different suits and the major arcana, how they're arranged. It is just how in control you are of your life. What I know that I will not read for anyone, not for one person who sits down and say, what's going to happen to me? I always preface that over my phone phone consultations before we get started, that this is not about some sort of circus act. I'm not going to, jump through hoops to somehow entertain you with being psychic. I tell them straight away, I'm not psychic at all. Like my first Gandalf reader told me, I'm not psychic. I'm just getting information from the cards. And it's incredible how accurate they are as far as connecting with your higher self, the source, the God force, the universe, however you want to look at it, to be able to show you the patterns within you of how you're viewing your life, how you're feeling about outcomes and what you're doing about it, that is going to give you to the futures that either you're desiring or you're not. And if you're not, then frickin' change something up. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen to you. I actually said no to an event that I had already signed contract for, and I already cashed a check I gave them the money for, because I went to some place in Venice where they, I went prior to me, actually being the readings. They said, oh, Tattooed Spirit's going to be here to do readings. And then I went and they were sort of prepping up the event, and they said, to find out what's in store for you in 2018. And I said, I'm not, if this is how you've been prepping, kind of like me coming in to just some sort of do a fortune teller thing, I'm not the least bit interested. It caused a little bit of a riff, but I gotta tell you, I felt so empowered by just saying, I'm not gonna be like jumping through hoops circus pony guy saying what's going to happen to you and not give you any sort of idea that you're empowered to what's going to happen to you, So I really draw the line at that, I don't think that's being a dick. I don't think that's being a jerk. But, whenever you put your boundary as far as like, this is not somehow that your life is out of your control situation. You really got to stick to it. That's really my thing. That's my big thing about tarot, is how it is supposed to be and how it is intended to be self-empowering. So that's really my thing. That's what's most important to me. And then, of course, to demystify it. I know there's a lot of really intuitive people out there. I find that I am incredibly intuitive, but I'm not calling myself psychic. And if you are intuitive and you're using the cards, do not jump over there, sweetheart. Do not. Let me get this cat back inside. Come on. I don't like this at all. Come on. Get in there, Jingle Bells. No. All right. Apologies for that. This will be the last interruption. We close the door. Car. Okay. Yeah, and so really that's where I draw the line, is I don't do some sort of trick pony sort of thing where I'm going to somehow impress you with what I know because I'm this sort of card reader guy that's not telling you how you're not in control of your life. I have no parts of that. I can go off for days on that, but that's how empowered I am to just share. I just refuse to do anything like that. And then also I wanted to share with you for this. I think this is good for advanced readers, people that have been doing it for customers to help create their income, as well as someone just starting out and just reading for their friends and just having fun with the cards and learning how incredibly inspiring they can be and informative they can be, and finding out this fantastic stuff within yourself. Is that whenever you find yourself locked up or you find yourself shuffling, you're like, holy shit, I'm getting paid for this. I hope this is really good. To just reframe that, to pull yourself back and just say to yourself, how can I be of service in this reading? It's helped me in my hypnotherapy biz tremendously. Whenever you first start doing any sort of therapy biz or any sort of helping thing, you sort of get lost in the process of processes and protocols. And of course, there's all these, guidelines that you should follow if you're using a particular kind of therapy. But at the crux of it, the base of it, I think it's so important that you always ask, how can I be of service? And that just takes the pressure off of you having to perform, having to be great, having to be some sort of like ingenious guru that some people think you are because you understand the structure of the cards. And I think that really brings out the best readings for the clients, and it helps you connect the dots of all the cards. When you got 15 cards out on a table, it's really nice to just say, how can I best help this person and be of service with all of these different sort of cards facing me, giving me so much information each. And then you can trust then the intuition to put the cards together in the right order. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video. I certainly had fun doing it. I like talking about how I do it, my passions, and indeed my frustrations as far as, fortune telling thing. Anyway, thank you, Shuffle Tarot. And I hope that anyone viewing this got something out of it, and I welcome your share below in the comments. Have a good day. Bye.